Hello, hello, everyone. I've seen quite a lot of messages about Broken Arrow. I'm going to tell you stuff about Broken Arrow, some dates actually about Broken Arrow in a few moments. How is everyone? How are you still playing Baldur's Gate, or are you waiting your copy of Starfield to land on your desk and start playing that? Are you watching Ahsoka? I've been enjoying the first 3 episodes so far. For what it's worth, it's a very solid Star Wars show right now. So really interesting, and it's good to see that the material is developing after Clone Wars and Rebels. We're eager to see what's next. So if that's how they're going to treat the material, then I'm happy, and I look forward to the next movies as well, with a grain of salt, of course. Played ICBM recently was fun. I think you're right. Actually, one thing I wanted to note was there is I guess you know that there's a big strategy sale on Steam. We have been pushing that quite heavily. And a couple of notes on that. We have the sale itself has quite a lot of our games and many other strategy games in the catalog. You have probably noticed that some of our games are missing, and there's reason for that. You know more about it in the next couple of days, or actually tomorrow. I can tease about that a bit, but you can understand what's happening if you look at what games are missing there, and you want to know the best-selling games of our catalog in the current sale are one of the best-selling games is definitely ICBM. It's in the top 5, so it's definitely a game that managed to grow over time and capture people's imagination, and there will be interesting news about that, hopefully to share in the next few weeks, if you're patient enough to stick with us and find out what's happening. As I was saying, there's a number of games that are missing from the current strategy sale. And if you look at the catalog, one of the things important is that there's so many games the sale that we want to sort of differentiate a little bit on what is present in this sale and what is coming in the future as well. There's hundreds, if not there's thousands of games in the sale right now, so it's important for us that we make sure that we don't sort of put everything in there and then waste opportunities for you to take advantage of discounts later on. I took a broken arrow to the knee. Okay, broken arrow. No, I'll save broken arrow for later. Just what you want to know about broken arrow. Just tell me what you want to know exactly, and next week I'll collect the questions. And next week, of course, it can't be when's the game releasing, because I'm going to tell you in a few moments. But anything about broken arrow, just write the questions there. And next week, I promise I'll answer some of these questions. So, release date. So back from Gamescom, lots happening in Gamescom, lots happening we have seen so many cool strategy games. I can't believe we're not signing them all. There's loads of really cool things, like a lot, and I look forward to showing some of that stuff to you, because it's really been an interesting show. Also, on top of the fact that we meet a lot of people and so on, we've actually met with really cool developers with nice projects that we weren't expecting to see. So I'm really happy about how it went. Hi, do you have any Battle Academy news to share with us? Will there be a Battle Academy 3? Duty calls? Yes, there will be a Battle Academy 3. Battle Academy 3 is coming, but I don't know when, I don't know how, and I can't really tell you a lot more about it, but it's definitely coming, and we're working on something there. based. You keep. This is becoming. The chat is becoming interesting. I think that okay. Other than the release date, how cute is Felix? Well, it depends if the beard is full blown grown, like huge or not, and that changes quite a lot. But it's very personal, so I won't say anything about that. And by the way, where is Mordante? I miss Mordante today. What vehicles units are you most excited for in Broken Arrow? See? Oh, finally some questions. Okay, I'm gonna ask my colleagues upstairs to make a list of all these questions, and we're gonna answer some of these next week. So, will there be another demo before the release of Broken Arrow? Yogdog, no, but there will be an open beta before the release of Broken Arrow. So it's much better than a demo, isn't it? We cannot do more than one Steam Next Fest demo now. The rules are with Steam are you can only do them once. So we're going to do something else to replace that. General roadmap, post-launch plans, we can do that. We can definitely share a bit more about that. What would it take to repair the arrow? Edmund? I'm sorry we don't have these like jingles where you can like to-doom and like a freezing audience. Yeah, please, not good. All right, so what are we here for today? There's quite a lot of news to cover. Of course, the most important news of the week is the release of the first DLC for Master of Magic, which, by the way, went very well. I am very happy to share that Master of Magic has been topping the strategy sale for us in terms of units and revenues generated. So the Master of Magic franchise is very vibrant, and people are in general liking the new DLC. I told you in previous tea times that we were a bit on the fence about this Tech Magic DLC, and there were a lot of back and forth about did we pick a right subject and so on for the first DLC. But the idea was really, try and make something different, and we wanted to sort of make a different type of impact towards the community, and we're happy that things are going very, very well. I'm happy also that the number of copies we're selling on top of what existing users of Master of Magic are increasing, and so overall it's been a very good launch, and we're very happy about it. And it's good that I can share. I want to share with these things with you. I mean, it's kind of important that when we have something that works, and of course we thank you because you're playing the games, but also it's important that we keep you updated on where we are with the single IPs and franchises, and make sure that if things are going well or not. Okay, the chat's doing very, very fast there, so I probably missed something, but it's all about Broken Arrow, isn't it? Yeah, probably yes. Anyway, on Master of Magic, if you check on YouTube, there's a nice video featuring Edmund playing the game. And there's quite a lot of information about the game there. You can see a lot of the action going on with Soul Trapped and new wizards as well. Next week, Edmund is going to play a What's Your Mod? I don't think we know exactly when. I don't think it's in the Twitch schedule. Edmund, you're in the chat. You can say that better than I do. But there will be a What's Your Mod dedicated to Master of Magic. Of course, because Master of Magic also now has modding capability through Steamworks, so there's quite a lot of new stuff you can actually create with the game. I'm very happy that we crossed that bridge, because now that we have the game in the hands of the community, and the community can create some really cool things within the game. So Edmund is trying to will be on the 6th at 3 p.m. UK. The 6th, by the way, is a Wednesday. and he's trying to create something super special. So stay tuned. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. Master of Magic. Wow. This is, I mean, between Edmund and David today, we can have a chat, of a contest. Okay, did you prefer Master of Magic or the repaired broken arrow joke? That's the next survey, the next poll we should put in place here. Question for later: what will modding capabilities for BA? Yes, make note of that question as well. That we can answer later as well. And Terminator, I'm making a note of your question about Terminator because we got news on that as well. Okay. So as I said, there's a nice video from Mr. Edmund on YouTube to give you a good idea of what Rise of the Soul Trapped is. We've got a short video to show to you now, and we'll be back just after that.
Master of Magic, Rise of the Soul Trapped, awakened a new power, fusing technology and magic into a realm known as Tech Magic. Brace yourself for a mid to late game threat as the rogue Soul Trapped invade the lands of Arcanus and Mirror. Explore the realm of Tech Magic with a range of powerful spells at your disposal. Discover a new location. The Tech Dungeon will emerge, guarded by the Soul Trapped race, unleashing aggressive, roaming mobs upon the world. Expand your hero mechanics with the new trait, I Need a Hero, which you can choose 3 heroes when recruiting or casting spells. Meet Moma and Ild, the twin heroes bonded by tragedy and driven by the search for answers. Join Billy, the gunslinger, a halfling with deadly accuracy and a love for adventure. And embrace the power of Old Mane Ironjaw, the Gnoll general who commands the mighty Wolf Riders. Encounter new wizards with their own unique traits and play styles. Morik the Possessed, a dark elven sorceress bound to a powerful demon, seeks dominance over all other wizards. 9-7, a master of the Soul Trapped race, wields its power with unparalleled mastery. And witness the might of Grendel, a troll wizard who believes in the strength of physical prowess above all. Unleash the Soul Trapped race, constructs bound by sentient souls and fueled by organic matter. Command spearmen, swordsmen, cavalry, and engineers with the ability to repair constructs. Witness the power of Subtrireme, the Soul Cannon, and the unique abilities of the Yeet and the Mag Bomb. Get ready to forge your destiny and become the ultimate Master of Magic.
Congratulations, Charles. You just won a box of Red Bull will be sent to you directly to your apartment for winning the survey here. To answer some of the Broken Arrows stuff, yes, of course, there will be DLCs. There will be nation DLCs. We're thinking about a number of different approaches there, not only nation-based, but we're seeing what's going to be best. Of course, everyone will have its own favorite, and it's going to be hard to decide which comes first and order of the DLCs for Broken Arrow. We promise to bring you the Imperial Guard very soon. Oh no, that was another game. Which was... Oh, did I say something I shouldn't be saying? Maybe. Anyway, Field of Glory. I was waiting for Mordante exactly for this, but no problem. Next week, we are kicking off the Field of Glory World Team Championship 2023. We've been doing it for 2 years in a row, then had to stop. Now we're giving the tournament is back, and so next week during tea time will be the drawing ceremony for the teams and nations participating in the tournament. I'm very happy that we support this. Remember that this is a tournament that's entirely organized by the community. We're not sort of doing anything. We're just supporting it and making sure that it's got the maximum visibility. So thank you very much to community members putting a lot of effort into organizing this. The tournament will last until basically Christmas. December 23rd will be the final. And we hope to have a lot of different teams coming and playing the tournament, potentially up to 20 and more. So let's see what happens next week, and there's going to be quite a fun thing to draw the nations into the group stages and take it from there. Don't know. Guard for Gladius? It's time for another DLC according to the last few years' schedule. Well, I guess we already have the Imperial Guard for Gladius, but maybe I said something I shouldn't have said. Who knows? Let me see. If I'm not here next week, then I said something very bad and very wrong. Is Combat Mission Fortress Italy still on schedule for September? Yes, absolutely yes, it is. We are planning to release Combat Mission Fortress Italy somewhere in September. And again, I can't say when exactly, because somebody will headshot me from just over there. It's going to be a nice scene on Twitch, but not very good for me. What's the inflation value of Slitherine coins? I guess nothing, unless there's some sort of weird thing happening with the software managing it. I think it's zero. Will this CM support newer resolutions? Well, I guess the new version of Fortress Italy is going to be exactly the same as the previous ones. But the developers are still working on optimizing and making the game future-proof as they work on also the future projects. So Battlefront are pretty active. They're very active on all, as you know, on two different fronts. There's a professional side of the thing, of business, and the consumer side of business. So schedules are a bit all over the place when some custom work comes in and they have to sort of being distracted for some pro stuff. But in general, they're actively working on what's coming next in the series. Cool. So on that was it on Feel of Glory. Somebody asked earlier on about Panzer Corps as well. On Panzer Corps, the news is that sort of the development teams of the different content teams are working on very different things at the same time. So we have a number of DLCs being developed together. As you know, we've announced Pacific. This is still in development, although it hit a bit of a wall, as I said before, for pure gameplay reasons. We know that the naval component of Panzer Corps is one of the most important parts of a good Pacific experience. And although Flashback, in particular Alex, have been trying to work on a system that works and is playable and nice and working for fun, for the fun of the game, it still hasn't hit it in the head. So we can't really tell you when Pacific is coming, but there's quite a lot of stuff in development. There's actually 3 different lines of DLCs, and so with Panzer Corps we have quite a lot of stuff coming in the next few years, I would say. Right now this is not supposed to happen. Sorry, just take it back. Okay, sorry. Again, probably some spoiling activities going on here today. Marco leaking more stuff. I know that wasn't me today. This time, Yog. This wasn't me. Wasn't me leaking. But again, I hope this doesn't go on YouTube, because if it goes on YouTube, people are going to slow motion and find out what's the next DLC is. So, whatever. And more questions? No worries, Paul. Everything about BA, please. Everything you say BA. For me, BA is Battle Academy, because it's always been like that. So internally, we always called Battle Academy BA. So now we have Broken Arrow. Everybody asks me for a BA. I say, hey, here's your news about Battle Academy. Battle Academy 2, best game ever, by the way. Will Broken Arrow expand beyond Baltics and Europe after release, and with future nations be added to the campaign? Yes. Again, we don't know exactly which DLCs, how much, how many, but we know that the game will expand to other places, other faces in the future. That's 100% for sure. So Flashpoint Campaigns has DLC coming. I think there's at least 2 just listed in the roadmap. Sergeant Z-Dog, Flashpoint Campaigns, has more content coming up. We are planning to release more Flashpoint Campaign stuff in the future, as the development team is sort of expanding in size massively, I would say. They've been, hiring and working with more designers, more scenario designers, more engineers and such. So there will be a lot more happening on Flashpoint Campaigns in the coming months and years as well. That's pretty much a live franchise that we want to sustain over time as much as we can. What roadmap? Check it on the forum, Fleet 5. I think there's quite a lot of information there. Strategic Command news, Yogdog. Well, nothing that you don't know, Yogdog. You're here, but you should be here because you know more about Strategic Command than I do. So nothing more than Empires in Turmoil DLC for World War I is coming, and after that, we'll see what's happening. But there's no firm plan on that. That's for sure. Did you hire the same voice actor for the American campaign as you did in the demo? We'll get more. What are you doing, Commander? I want to curse. I don't know that detail, unfortunately, but I'll find out. There's quite a lot of cool stuff coming. Yes, thanks, Sergeant Z-Dog is going to spoil everything for Insta. I mean, it's my spoiling day, so Sergeant Z-Dog, to be quiet, otherwise something wrong is going to happen in the company here. Distant Worlds. Yesterday we had a very nice, entertaining, but also informative live stream from Eric Routins. He played Distant Worlds 2 for quite a long time, previewing the next upcoming DLC, faction DLC, releasing next week. The DLC is releasing on Thursday next week. It's the 2 factions are the Gizurians and the Quaminos. Black and yellow. This is black and yellow, not white and yellow. This is not the Vatican flag. We have also a new devlog that's been published on our website, so you can watch that. You can look at that. You can read that, and there's a lot of information about the faction. So you're starting to get an idea of what it is all about. So you've got a stream. The stream is also being uploaded on YouTube. So if you want to check it out, I think it's already there. It's pretty comprehensive of, I think Eric played the Gizurians yesterday, so there's quite a lot of stuff there. You don't have to be sorry, Sergeant Z-Dog. It's all fine. We're all a big family, so if you release information, we'll be fine. Don't worry. More questions. Tell us about Broken Arrow. Yeah, I'll tell you about Broken Arrow. I'm just teasing. It's like if we get to 150 viewers, I'll start talking about Broken Arrow. Call your friends. multiplayer beta date. I'll tell you the multiplayer beta date if we get to 150 viewers. So what would you be able to tell us about Britain in Broken Arrow? I'll tell you about when you get 150 viewers. Gondor calls for aid. Yeah, light the fires. Starship Troopers. Do you know what about Starship Troopers DLC? Raising Hell has been announced, and it's been announced, I think, less than a month ago, and it's already the DLC with the highest number of wish lists we've ever had, which is quite an achievement. But, Starship Troopers is also one of the best-selling games we've ever had, so that's not surprising. This is a nice exclusive tea time screenshot of Starship Troopers Terran Command Raising Hell, which is going to release later this year. The DLC will contain 7 new scenarios. It's a narrative-driven campaign, lots of new units. It's all about fire and flames and lots of blood, and it's gonna be hot. And we just had a nice little chat with the developers this morning, and they're progressing on the development. So much so that the beta is already happening. So if you want to check it out, try your chance and get on the slitherine.com/beta channel. Leave us your name, surname, email, telephone number, home address, and we'll ship you some arachnids directly at your front door. No, I'm joking. You can subscribe for the beta, and you will also be able to play, I think, the first 3 or 4 scenarios of the beta there. See, 143. We're just 7 away. 147. What is happening here? Gosh, this is stressing as hell. All right, so we're collecting the bodies. Oh yeah, I think what you're doing there is like posting on the Discord or Broken Arrow Discord, so people are now joining so they can listen some news. I'll do that. Don't worry. I'm fine. You don't have to prove to me that you can make it. 141. Okay, prove it to me now. One thing I want to say about, it's important to say the Twitch schedule. For you in the next week, we have after this, we have Master of Magic Rise of the, no? Am I saying the wrong thing? Yes, we have Yogg-Dog playing Warhammer Demons. Warhammer 40,000, Battle Sector, Demons of Khorne. If I don't say the full title, I can be in trouble because Games Workshop can call me and say, no, you didn't say the title, right? So, Yogg-Dog after this, right? Yogg-Dog? Was that right? Will Slitherine have many people at WSD? We'll have Julia. We'll have Francesco, a.k.a. Teba. And we'll have Tony. Marco, a.k.a. Tony. And also production team. I think producers are also going. So David, Neil, Mark, Annie. So quite a lot, yeah. Quite a lot of people. And we'll be showcasing... I don't remember. I think it's going to be Terminator and Starship Troopers. Am I wrong? No, Broken Arrow, actually, huh? Broken Arrow will be at WSD. Yes, WSD will be, we'll have Broken Arrow. I think we've got 4 PCs where you're going to be playing the latest version of Broken Arrow at WSD. So 156, 158. I have to talk about Broken Arrow. So Broken Arrow. The game is coming next year. It's coming highly likely to come in Q1 next year. See, we were ready with some imagery here. How did you do this? You had a stock of images. We are going to be releasing the game in Q1 next year, and the beta is very likely, I would say, a decent percentage to be the open beta starting. We'll start with a closed beta around mid-October, mid to end October, and we're going to, if that goes well, the beta will include multiplayer, and we'll open it to everyone around mid-November. I don't know how long the beta will last, in a sense that, you know, we want to use it as much as we can to sort of test the capabilities of the game. But we are going to make sure that we use all the time we can to test all the technical capabilities of the game, you know, how multiplayer works, how many players we can, we can have the same, in the servers, how the server system works, and so on. We desperately want this game to release very smoothly. This year has been full of releases with a lot of issues, technical issues across the board, and we're very aware that this is a game that will require a lot of attention. So we're going to make sure that this is, going as smooth as we can. In terms of content, you know that the game is releasing with 2 factions. We are already working on a DLC schedule for the game, with the fact, knowing the fact that the DLCs will come with both faction and scenarios. So we don't want to release just the faction or just a few units or new units, but the DLCs will be very much focused on, putting together factions and scenarios, which means that they will take a bit longer to make, and but they will also have more content and will be more relevant to the content that we release. So there's no point in releasing PRC if don't attach to it something that's relevant to that faction, and that goes for every single faction that we're planning to release. Other questions? Who will be to join the closed beta? Well, the system will be very much the same as we've got now. So subscribe to the closed beta on our system, on the beta system, and then we'll release groups of beta testers as we go. Of course, the groups will be larger than our usual games, because we know that we need a vastly larger pool of players testing the game in all its implications, in all its modes. So we know that there's going to be more stuff to release. Slitherine never announced. No, there will be an announcement on price, and to be honestly, like 100% honestly, I don't know what the price will be on Broken Arrow yet. So that's something that we haven't discussed yet so far. Will the closed beta players be able to stream the game? That's something that we're discussing right now. That's a good question. Ideally, in the first wave, no. And as we collect information and we know that the game is stable enough and is streamable, then we are definitely going to allow more players to stream the game. I don't know if it's going to be a time frame or not, but we're discussing this. I think the best solution will be that we'll do like, and this is something like exactly as I was discussing this if I was discussing this in a meeting here, ideally the solution will be, first batch, no, then we'll start slowly to open it to more people. We see how the game goes, and then as soon as the game is stable enough, we'll start allowing people to stream, and then finish this possibility or end this possibility at some point. Of course, you have to bear in mind that whenever we open the possibility to stream the game to everyone, we're also sort of giving away a bit of our media influencers, content creators, creative power approach. So what we'll do is also balance that with, okay, we want the core people that has always been supporting us to stream the game first, and then allow also everyone else later on as well. Trailer is delayed. Well, the trailer, which is a trailer that we have designed to cover mainly the customization of units, is in the final stages of development. We have received today the intros and outros, so this is probably not a long time until we release it. Probably, I would say, for a week, 10 days, and then we're going to plan an actual release date for the trailer. The arrow will be broken by 2024, with the stress testing being October, November. Exactly. So the general info is that all is delayed. Well, I guess that in our minds, the game was supposed to release. In the start of the year, we were supposed to release the game at the end of this year, in Q4, and what happened is basically that we are, taking longer to assess the technical implications of the multiplayer, and we want to make sure that works. And that's very simply, why the game has been delayed to next year, which is, but as Yogdog says, better to wait and got it right and rush it out. Also, bear in mind, and I think this is a very important thing to say, bear in mind that Steel Ball Laika are a new developer. This is their first commercial release. So a lot of things they are developing for the first time. So it's cool that, we have tentative dates, but it's also, cool for us that we are able to sort of say, okay, this is not good enough. We have to iterate and make sure that we solve these issues before release. So the fact that we've been kind of as open as possible towards the community and saying, this is what we would like to do, and hopefully this is, happening. And then we're, taking a step back and saying, well, probably not going to happen. Sometimes being open also means that you have to, readjust your dates in a way. Some of the devs worked at Eugene. It's complicated, the developers of Broken Arrow. Some are from Eugene. Some are modders of Eugene. Some are fans of Eugene systems, games. So it's a bit of a mix. Plus a lot of new people. I mean, the number of people have been hired during the process has been quite high, so it's a bit of a mix of different things. What are the units costs looking like for Broken Arrow, as in what types of units are shipping out to be more pricey? You're going to see a little bit of that in a video, on customization video. There's quite a lot of information there with some pretty cool interesting things that you can see. Also, as I said, some of the technical questions, drop them in the chat. We'll collect them all and potentially answer all of them in the next live stream. And maybe if there's enough questions, we can do a Skype with Felix and have him on tea time in one of the next ones and answer some of your more technical game-related questions. I'd be happy to do that as well. So make sure that you're vocal about it on the Discord, and we'll organize this. No problem at all. Yeah, so I think this is kind of it for Broken Arrow. I wanted to give you the Twitch schedule, finish up with the Twitch schedule, and then have a chat about future releases as well. So, as I said, Yogdog is going to play Demons, Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sector Demons after this. Tomorrow we have Richard York playing Master of Magic, Rise of the Soul Trapped, a new DLC at 6. Then at 8 we've got Das playing Distant Worlds 2, specifically the Discovery update, and our beloved Sergeant Z-Dog at 10 playing Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sector Demons again. And then we have on Monday, for Matrix Monday, we have XTRG playing Flashpoint campaigns, Southern Storm at 4:15, and Kushan playing a Command at 6:15. Command Modern Operations, of course. Also, reminder that on Wednesday we'll have Edmond playing the modding capabilities of Master of Magic on the future games. So I want to spend a few words about the upcoming Stargate and Terminator. So Terminator, first, Terminator is officially gone into beta now. The beta is open. Players are playing it. I've seen quite, a lot of very, very, very positive comments about the game. The idea was that we start, the first wave of these testers was small, but with a lot of people who are really into RTSs, and the comments are absolutely great. We just love what we're seeing in terms of feedback. So thank you for participating. We need more people. We absolutely need to add more people to the betas. So make sure that you check this out and subscribe to the beta. Again, slitherine.com/beta. The game is planned to release before the end of the year. At the moment, there is no, alarm bell or anything that tells us that it's not going to happen. There's quite a lot of RTSs releasing between now and the end of the year. So I think the only real, question mark is going to be competition and how, other RTSs are shaping up and releasing in what time frame they are releasing. But we are definitely looking forward to launching Terminator before the end of this year. There's been some pretty interesting behind-the-scenes revolutions in the process, and that slowed us down a bit, but not to the extent of, showing us that the game is not going to release this year. Us devs can't get enough testers. Please sign up. You're right, Sergeant. I guess that the real thing is that this is going to be weird for you guys because you're like super hardcore and you're our fans, and we see you every week. But out of 50 people, we drop 100 people in a test batch. Probably only 10-15% will give you relevant, meaningful feedback. Everyone else will just either play the game and forget about it, don't give feedback, don't give relevant, meaningful feedback at all. So it's a bit of a hit and miss. Sometimes you have to add, just a few people and you've got like what you need. Sometimes you just can't get enough. It's really hard to balance, to strike a balance there. So, depending on the game, depending on, how hard the game is to get into. And that's why we know Discord is great because it helps us with, the core communities are, helping us. But, as we make more like wider market games, we need feedback from a lot more people that see the game from a different perspective. So that's really the number one issue or headache we've got with beta testers. Any news about Combat Mission Fortress Italy on Steam? Yes, we've answered that, and definitely coming in September, Fortress Italy and its 2 DLCs. And the other game I want to give you sort of final a bit of news. Other game I want to give you a bit of news about is Stargate. So Stargate, the beta is up and running. We also have basically what we want to release in terms of gameplay scenarios and such is almost done. We're just done. We're working hard to add sort of this extra layer of narrative of the narrative campaign, of adding this narrative layer that this is something kind of we are not used to in all these character-based games that we usually do faction-based games or stuff that's less about the people and more about the war and the scenario and the storyline behind it and such. So we're taking a lot of care and attention to make sure that we do focus a lot on a Stargate experience, and to do that we're doing a lot of cool cutscenes and producing something that's not really specifically related to actual gameplay, but to add an extra layer of polish to the game. So that's also taking a little bit of time. Again, the game is releasing this year, that's for sure, and we'll keep you posted on exact release date. Very likely that Stargate releases before Terminator, and that's something that that we've got in the schedule. So the sort of the big events, I would say, for Slitherine specific stuff are before the end of the year that we have announced are Stargate, the next deal, the first DLC for Starship Troopers. We got the open beta for Broken Arrow, the Terminator release. There's a lot of new shows that we're planning to attend. We'll be at WSD, we'll be at EGX at XL in October. We're planning to do a bit more. We're looking into options there. And of course, there will be more Battle Sector content. There will be more Gladius content. So of course, that's our goal. That we have you make have a lot of fun during Christmas and play a lot of games. So, Gladius, Constant Warfare. Yes, Gladius. Actually, one thing, a lot of time, a lot of years after the initial release, this year has been the best year so far for Gladius in terms of number of players, in terms of sales, but also in terms of attention we get towards the game. So it's really a game that's been discovered over time. And funnily enough, Battle Sector is following the same pattern. So we know that there's a long life for these games, and that we take a lot of pride in releasing content for a long time, and content that's also meaningful to you guys. What happens after Ageod finishes with Fog Kingdoms? I'm gonna reply to that by saying that probably Pocus will go on 6 months holiday, and but that's the joke part of it. Probably a couple of days of holiday, and then working on what's next that we already planned. So there's a plan for that, and Philogroi Kingdoms for me is really a great game that we want to use as a benchmark for the future of these types of products. And we know that we have to compete with some bigger fishes, but I'm very proud of what we've achieved so far with the Kingdoms and what I'm seeing. And I hope that my hopes and our hopes are that this franchise doesn't finish with Philogroi Kingdoms release, and there's a lot more after that. And we're really, bullish about it, and I hope that that happens. Any news on Decisive Games franchise? I get Decisive Campaigns, Tigers to Ross. Vic is working on stuff, and can't release any information right now, but the series is not over, so that's definitely something we're working on. Cryptic message figures something out. BA like a mechanic or unit. Is that BA Battle Academy or BA Broken Arrow? Gosh, I'm confused. Headquarters World War II. As I said, I think you followed us at Yogdog at Gamescom. We had it on display. We're starting to show it to the press. The feedback we're having to the press and media from the press and media is really, really good. And I have to say, it's looking sexy as hell. It's just playing very well. And the Starny Games guys have done so far a great job. So this is a game that we're going to release in before the first half of next year, and we'll give you more information about it. So you see, you can't stop about asking us about games that I didn't mention, and there's quite a lot of, I didn't even talk about Scramble and so many others that we know we have in the calendar, but I'll give you more information as we go. This is really what I could probably the longest tea time we've done so far, but it was definitely worth it. Thanks for joining us. Next week we have the drawing ceremony for Filigree World Team Championship, and we're going to pick up your questions to answer them from the BA Broken Arrow Discord channel. And if we manage to do it, I'll just ring Felix during tea time, and we'll try and answer some of these. So make sure you tune in and connect next week, and have a good Starfield event in about 9 minutes. I will see you next week. Bye.
The attraction towards new experiences is powerful. Alienware gear isn't made to resist that pull. It's made to accelerate it, to transport you to new places where you can embrace difference and leave familiar behind, bringing you ever closer to the ultimate experience. See you on the other side.